Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So this morning when I woke up, I had a whole bunch of downloads, and it seems like these downloads are just a continuation of the stories that have been coming out. Specifically, it seems like yesterday's really hit the nail on the head about the one that was the pirates and the energy. It turned out it was like Viking energy. And so in that reading, it pretty much talked about how, if you watch the TV show Vikings, Ragnar Lothbrok has two wives, right? He's with Lagertha, and then he cheats on her and gets Aslog pregnant. And so Lagertha takes off. She's like, you know what? I ain't down for sharing. It's a total disrespect. And so in order for her to maintain her dignity, she had to leave. And so she leaves. And the whole story went out, and it was kind of like the realization that he really never loved any of them, because that's not how you show someone that you love them. And so when I woke up this morning, I had a bit of downloads, but one of them was mainly a song, and it was Fleetwood Mac's Silver Springs playing really loud in my head. And that song, maybe I'll just look it up and read the words for you, but it was pretty much the words to exactly yesterday's reading, so I added it below on that one. There it is. Okay. So the whole reason why she called it Silver Springs is because, well, that album from Fleetwood Mac was in the 1970s during the rumors time. So, rumors. They're telling me that there's a whole bunch of rumors. And with these readings, I finally got something. But it seems like there's this really big underlying story that really wants to come up and out of this into the surface of the collective. And just bit by bit, reading by reading, it kind of shows a little more. But now today's reading is going to be about rumors, they're telling me, which I didn't get that insight until I just said it. But so the album Rumors is one of the most popular albums of the 70s, probably still today. And one thing that made it very controversial is that all the band members dated each other, and then they all had really bad breakups. But instead of breaking up the band, they stayed together and they all wrote songs about it. And then it's like we got a little bit of a scope into their lives and how they were feeling. And then all the band members had to sit and play that song, even though it was about them saying the meanest, cruelest things. And so, yeah. And so in it, they were in Silver Springs, and she just liked the way that it sounded. It's saying you could be my Silver Springs, blue, green colors flashing. So in the one reading, it was all about blue, right? There's the blue moon, the letter poets kept coming out, and now I see this is writing a song. Blue, green colors flashing, I would be your only dream, your shining autumn, ocean crashing. And then this part is and don't you say she was pretty? And did you say that she loved you? Baby, I don't want to know. And so I begin not to love you. Turning around, see me running. I say I loved you years ago. Tell myself you never loved me. Which was exactly what the previous reading was about. It was they didn't love you, because the advice was, if there's a decision between two people, go for the second one, because you didn't love the first one enough the second one would have never been an option. And so the main part of all this that they kept playing so loud in my head was the part at the end where it's time cast a spell on you, but you won't forget me. I know I could have loved you, but you would not let me. And then they just kept saying, time cast a spell on you. Time cast a spell on you. And so there was a reading the other day where it was, I knew I was supposed to use these ones. It was these cards we used, and there's like the Kabbalah or Tree of Life, and I was like, I don't know much about the Tree of Life, but and then I was also talking about pirates, and I don't know much about pirates, but you know what I do know about? Vikings. And I love Norse mythology, that kind of stuff. But maybe I could find that one for you. But in it, I was thinking it was the Tree of Life, but I get it now because yesterday's reading, there was a string left right outside my door, which I do use the string for something else. But what are the chances? And then when I came this morning, I left that reading on the table. So it was still there before I turned on the video right now. Because I was like, well, I can't really remember all the cards. And then I was like, oh, there it is. And all that energy came. But it was this card that I kind of felt like Kabbalah vibes. Or the Tree of Life. But it is the Tree of Life. It's just, I can never say it right, Yggdrasil. And so at the bottom of Yggdrasil, down here in the roots, in the shadow, is the Norns. And so what are the Norns? They are the weavers of destiny. And so we've been talking about knots and like letting go of fabrics and thread. There's a knot on there. And yeah. So that's what I see is like a relationship got broken, something got broken, cords, ties, whatever it is. And so now there's loose ends. And now you get to work with the Norns. Mainly they kind of have something for you. But in yesterday's reading, it even said like destiny and everything reversed, like a pause. And so, yeah, that's what I see. I see the Norns coming into this. I keep hearing time cast a spell on you, and now I know rumors. So I do see people have left. Someone's gone off on their own, done their own thing, done their own healing. But back where things were, there's rumors, and they're talking about it. And especially with like Fleetwood Mac, maybe this person is a bit into witchy energy. So maybe they're like, oh, they cast spells, they do this kind of thing. That's a little bit what I'm picking up on. Oh, they're doing love spells on people, but it's like, no. They are going and healing and living their own life. Yes, they work with plants and herbs and medicine, but that's what all medicine's made out of. I seen something the other day where it was talking about soup. Like you can call soup witchcraft, right? You're putting herbs and crap into a pot and like, it's food. Let food be thy medicine. But yeah. I didn't pick up on that spell work type, cast a spell, but that's what they're showing. There's rumors, people talking about things that you did when you're not there to defend yourself, and it seems like the Norns have weaved destiny and fate and created a new tapestry. And what about this tapestry? This person can't forget you. So they think that's why you must be sending magic or doing energy work or something to them, but it's not true. It's them dealing with their own inner demons, and they're kind of stuck in a loop, in a pattern. So your energy was part of the stories that they told, so maybe that's your energy. And yeah, it seems like you're the one that got away because it was the real love, the deep love, the love that you have to do. You have to stand up to the plate and be better. You have to do better. And so sometimes people don't want to do better because they like telling themselves that their toxic, immature ways is the way that it's supposed to be and that you're the problem. But I see once you kind of left, they're still there and they're garbage. And so they'd rather point fingers and things, but they can't because you're not there. So you must be doing spell work. You must be doing something energetically. And you're not. It's the Norns. It's fate. It's destiny. It's weaving the past, present, and future together. It's fate, I hear now. You sealed your fate. And so with that, because yesterday's reading was still here, I'm going to use the same cards. So we've got the Weird World Tarot, and then we're going to use the Citadel cards, and then we're going to bring in the Gilded Reverie by Linermond. These ones will add in extra. So which one's first? The Citadel ones. heard only 3 because there's 3 Norns. The past. Whoa, not surprised. The past is the Hound, which came out in the last couple readings. Like, there's this energy and it's just lingering, so really not surprised. We got the Painter. And the Future one. Oh, 2 of them came out. So with that, we got the Assassin, and hiding behind it is the Musician in reverse. And I kept hearing like, time put a spell on you, but you, oh. And so I just feel, I don't know, I just feel like, because all the stories kept saying, put it into poetry, put it into poetry. Well, that's what music pretty much is, poems. And like with this Assassin, with this song, I feel like there's going to be, I hear there's going to be a realization today about what's real and what was rumors. Because the Musician, okay, so the Hound is all about loyalty, chains, and promises. So it was freeing yourself. It's in the past. We've got this cord that's been cut. Freeing yourself. You're done. And right now is the Painter, and I think it's just really pretty because it is like shiny and tinfoil. And it says productivity and creation. So in this moment, even though you're not feeling the best of whatever crudge is coming up from this story, that's what I see is like broken shards and just like things that took your voice, your thunder, and like using it creatively right now. Take this pain into something beautiful. And with the Musician in reverse, it's all about inspiration and gratitude. Hello, Mr. Monster. Do you know what I find very interesting? You want to hop up? Is in yesterday's reading, we had Miss Beauty come and visit us. Now we got Mr. Monster. They're my yin-yang kitties. We got Beauty and Monster. And Mr. Monster is the most loving and protective of me. Beauty loves everyone. Monster only loves me. He's very possessive of me. So with the Musician, you have inspiration and gratitude. That's why I feel like the song is like, whoo! Like there's going to be a real realization that, I don't know, the rumors were never true. And then with that, the Assassin says ruthlessness and conviction. So, Monster, I'm just going to close this door. Hopefully you can stay the whole reading, but pull up a chair, come on in, get close, get comfy. Would you like to play with string? Yes, he would. Okay, so you deal with that. Oh wait, here you go. I want to shake up more cards. Some put a spell on you, but you someone's really, there's that wild card in the future again, and that happened in yesterday's reading. Something is so up in the air right now. I think karmically something happened that should not have happened. It never should have happened, but it did. And so the Norns went and they're like, well, let's just cut this tapestry short. And yeah, especially because the up in the air ended up with the Assassin. And we got Mr. Monster Assassin, the red cord. Okay, so. Sorry, I feel slower today. But we got all the cards on the board. Okay, so first that came out was the Sun. The Sun in reverse came with the Hound. And I feel like I'm seeing the hound eat the moon. It's like there's the sun and I see it kind of eat, maybe like set, and like set, game, set, match. Someone thought that the rumors, the things, the narrative that they were spinning was going to go in their favor. They tried to paint you in a scarlet type of letter, painting the roses red. They're like, maybe we could avoid this by painting our own narrative rather than going within. And so that's what we have in the past. We have the lights being turned out. We have sharp, something that hurts. And then above that, we have the compass. But the compass was also in reverse. So someone's not, I don't know, it was time to navigate in the dark. And so what comes after that? With the painter in the now, it's all about creativity. So maybe something came and it was lights out. Something happened, it put you in the dark. It took your sunshine. But this is called lighting your sunshine. And you can never actually take all the sunshine. Maybe it could be hidden. It could be under wraps, something. But that pain, it's going to cause friction. And that friction is going to cause sparks. And so that's what I see here in this card. He's angry, but with it, even anger causes something. It causes light in the dark. So there's the Nine of Wands, and he has almost given up, right? 10 of Wands would be too much on your back, too much burden, can't carry on. But with this, it seems like, what do I see? I see that anger and channeling your anger is so important. Not to deny that emotion, to look into it a bit deeper. Because by that, that's your power. That's your thing that you turn into the next thing. And so above that, we have the owls, and the owls are in reverse. What about the anger? Taking your anger into creativity, but it's almost like, you know when you're like so on raw and it's just like you can't contain that. And I know sometimes like I'm terrified of my anger. Like you have to learn to say it with like grace and like humble kind of. But if you can't see in the dark and you don't have those things and you're up against the wall, that's almost what I'm seeing here. So I do want to pull cards on this because I don't quite understand. What about this? So the wisdom, there's no wisdom in it. And if you don't understand the wisdom yet, that means you're not quite through. I don't need the card. As soon as I ask for one. So there's the owls. And like in the background is the moon. So the sun has been taken away. And maybe you want to hang out with just beauty girl. But you know what? Mr. Monster, he has his qualities, right? We have the yin and the yang, the good and the bad, the masculine and the feminine. And so how can you find love and joy in that moment? Right? Mr. Monster, oh, he's so soft. You're so soft, Monster. If you haven't found the wisdom of it yet, if you don't understand, that just means that you're only halfway in the lesson right now. There's still way more to learn and to navigate through this, because in the end you will see the light and you will understand why everything happened. So if you don't understand what's happening now, there's a need to take this energy, this anger, this something, and just channel it a bit. And maybe I almost like, especially this with like painter, if you are into art, the more and more you put it down, the more and more it comes through your hands, eventually you'll see it. Oh, now we can move on. You'll see it in a different light. Like, that's what that was. Now I understand. But what about this? I'm not seeing something. The musician and the assassin. It's saying don't be ruthless in your energy, but there is a need. And okay, if you don't channel your energy into something creative or a passion or something, if you don't express your anger, it is going to turn into like a ruthless manner. It's not going to be as harmonious. It's saying take a look at yourself, right? This is in you. If you don't have that wisdom yet and you just have this untapped rage, then there's things to still learn. Even things like you think you've learned doesn't mean that, I don't know. But if you're not making a conscious effort to even try, you're not even gonna, you're so far back at the start line. Like I'm seeing the tortoise and the hare. But if the tortoise never even started, like it's not going to win. In that story, they do win. But if you're not even going to attempt to try and look within and you're just going to put on your blinders, all you're doing is avoiding a tower moment. And it's going to keep you stuck in the same karmic cycle over and over and over again. And then you could put your head in the sand. But what would help is that? It doesn't help anything. To take a real look at your emotions and, I don't know, look at the signs and symbols all around you. There is music. There's, in this one, there's feathers. There's coins. There's messages coming from spirit. But if you don't even want to get up or start your journey, then you're not going to heal through this. And so I did pull one last card. And this came out in one of the readings. I don't remember which one, but it's the Sentinel with determination and certainty. You have this anger in you because of what happened. And guess what? People are going to talk. You can't stop rumors from happening and let them believe what they want. And I think the more and more that you keep working on yourself and focusing on what it is that you love, it's going to prove them wrong without you ever having to defend yourself. And if you don't, then certainly there will be no success. You'll be stuck in a tower moment and stuck in a moment forever. I do want to pull just one more card. 2 came out, of course. So what do we got? We got 8 of Swords, which is freeing yourself from a mental confinement. And then we had 6 of Swords, which is childhood memories and remembering things. How was it? Yeah. And so here they are, this little family on a boat looking back at home. And in the upright, it's like fond memories. But in this way, in the reverse, they're not fond memories. In fact, the more and more you don't deal with it, the more and more you avoid a tower moment. Yes, tower moments are uncomfortable. Things are on fire. But to keep things stuck in a constant burn is even more uncomfortable. So Spirit really wants to deal with it now so that things don't become too much later. And I want to pull on this memory. Hold on. We got the lilies. And to me, lilies signify death and rebirth. There will be no rebirth in this moment if you don't let go. If you don't actually look and be like, what is this within me? Why am I so angry? The more and more you keep suppressing the anger, the more and more it's just going to slowly drown out the music. And the music I'm hearing is the guides. The guides are guiding it. So the more and more you stop it, now I'm hearing, please don't stop the music. That's almost like the music within your soul. The thing that brings you joy and just radiance. I pulled one more. We got the Sleeper, cause and effect and clarity. It's in reverse. It's time to open your eyes. No more staying asleep because the sun is in reverse. To keep pretending that things are okay when they're not okay is only going to cause stagnation and a stalemate. And then we've got the Book in reverse, which wraps up all these readings. Finally, I think we can stop. I think we can finally stop with this story. But the book, why is that significant? Because a story continues, right? Next chapter, next chapter, next chapter, next chapter. But all these readings, I think it's been like 4 blending into one. It all started with a letter. Someone was waiting for an apology from someone, but that lady moved on. It was like, you know what? It's over. You didn't treat me right. And then as more readings came out, turns out they chose someone else over them. So what, that just is so bonkers to me. There's someone out there who chose a different person, and in most cases it tends to be that they had more flash or money or something, and then they had one that really loved them, and then was like, well, I'm gonna juggle them. And then this one's like, well, no, I'm a only me type person, so you want to choose this person, you get that person. So they left. And then that person's like, she was a bitch, she did this, blah blah blah, it's not fair, she broke my heart. But they were entertaining other people. It made no freaking sense. And so they go off on it, and they keep thinking, oh, they'll be back, oh, they love me. And they did love you, but it doesn't mean that that's their whole life and all their worth is wrapped up into just loving you. They have a love for life and everything in it. And in it, that person needed to write an apology. I don't think they wanted that person to come back groveling and be like, I miss you, please choose me. And I think for a divine feminine, they would never beg to be chosen, right? Because what's meant for you is meant for you. And the Norns will weave into creation exactly what's meant for them. So I feel like this masculine energy in this story isn't that smart. Feels like they're a little bit of a manipulator, conniving, ended up with somebody who on the outside probably had wealth and status, but on the inside there was no love. And so then they're like, well, I want the love to come back. And it's like, well, no, like, no. And so it kind of flipped scenarios. Then the feminine went off on their own, and it was like being mad about the situation. And so that's where I see a bit of this anger in here, being mad about how mistreated and misjudged and miscalculated everything was done. I feel like they went off, and like, because they went off, they empowered themselves. The other person was like, well, you're not even that good. And then they started all these rumors. And at the beginning of it, especially with Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks reference, they're like, oh, she's witchy, blah, blah, blah. Something to do with like spirituality and beliefs, like tearing that down. And I don't know why I just strongly feel that. It didn't come out in the cards, but I feel it. And so what do I see? In the previous one, it was like, to that masculine energy, you're not going to get the apology from her, because if anything, you owe the apology. But I feel like the masculine energy is stuck in an ego. They're the ones where it's like, have you learned the lesson of this yet? And it's like, no. So it's like, there's still more for them to do, right? There's still a lot of weaving for just tying up that one loose end. That one thread meant so much to their life that they didn't understand it. Because this person's still on their mind, right? Time put a spell on you. The other person didn't put a spell on you. They're not thinking of you. But the fact that this is still in your mind, in your energy, that's soul work that you gotta go do. Maybe you're angry at yourself for a missed opportunity. It was a missed opportunity. You gave up. I just wanted to pull one more. You chose to be a dickhead. And yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. But in it, it was like, if anything, that masculine energy owed a letter, an apology. And they're too much to be like, well, I was never wrong. I'm not wrong. But you made a deal with the devil. Kind of energy is what it kept saying. And in it, the more and more they went down, especially with the painter, once they start tapping into that anger, there's got to be anger in them. They've got the devil attached to them. And like, I just see it flowing and flowing and flowing and flowing. And then it turned into, in the one reading, it turned into a book. Like, there's a lot that needs to come out and be processed. So to see the book finally closed, I feel like this should be the end of those readings. Because in the first one, it was whatever. In the second one, I'm like, if it comes out again, I'm gonna be saucy. But you know what? I'm not, because you can't control someone's choices. You can only control your own choices and how you move forward. So mostly I'm picking up, okay, gender, like masculine, feminine, we have both within us. But so mostly I see in the story is a feminine energy who like had that self-worth and left. And then the masculine one that was trying to control and dominate. So let's say you're a masculine, it could still resonate with you, right? Women can be just as conniving and sneaky. That's the type energy. There is something still up in the air to be created in the moment right now. Don't focus on the future, focus on right now. How can you channel whatever it is to get wisdom and insights? To take a deeper look into exactly what the emotion is, because the emotion is a symptom of past things, and that doesn't make it true in the now. But the fact that it keeps coming up and up and up and up and up and up means, like, I don't know, I just keep seeing a thread be pulled and pulled and pulled and pulled. So there was a tapestry, it did get cut, and so that one has to be unraveled still. So that's why this is coming up and out. Pull and pull and pull and pull and pull. Reading I just did yesterday was about 2 great purges. There's all this purging to come, and so let things unravel. And once you do, there's all the Norns below who are ready with their string to start anew. There's a new story to be created, and the book has been slammed shut on that. Time put a spell on you, and that was your own choice. You made choices, and I just keep hearing that echo. And so, like, the very, very last song, I'm gonna put the live performance of them on here, because, oh wow, like, it was part of the Rumors album, but it never got put onto it. So then, I think it was like 1997 or something, they got to sing it live, and she got to sing it right to her ex. And that's what, and she sang it with so much, it was, whoo. But anyways, time cast a spell on you, but you won't forget me. They'll always remember you. It'll be an echo of the one that got away. Could be the great white buffalo type energy. And then it says, I'll follow you down to the sound. Where's that? I'll follow you down till the sound of my voice can haunt you. Like, your voice, your memory, everything will haunt them, because they didn't do the inner work. They chose superficial, devilish things in nature, when I see someone who was very kind and full-hearted, like an earth angel, we'll call them. But what did that show? It shone a light on them that maybe things from their childhood needed a little bit of healing. But they were like, I don't need healing, but everybody needs healing. Everybody, every day, you can go within and find something to work on yourself. But this person was too weak to work on themselves. And so they chose to do nothing. They chose to stay in that burning building, and that burning building is gone. It's just nothing. It's a vast wasteland. They put themselves in a desert period, and I saw it as like quicksand. It's pulling them and keeping them stuck. They're stuck until they actually do the lessons. They're stuck with the people they chose and the people around them, and they'll hear your voice. But I don't see the feminine in this story paying much mind to it. I feel like right now it's coming up and out, because I feel like right now the great realization is happening. Like, holy fuck, I messed up. And so it's like knocking on the energy. So I feel like that's why that final thread, maybe the thread has been cut and you thought you could just add another piece onto it and continue weaving, but the energy of that past thread is still there. You got to take the whole thread out, because they can come back anytime they want. Knock, knock, knock. So that's what the Great Purge is. And we're done this story. And I wish you happy healing, whoever this is for, because as it unfolded and unfolded, it was so subtle. It was a little bit here, a little bit here. So it was hard to do the healing because you didn't really, it seemed like you had already moved and progressed, but, and then all of a sudden be back in the past. Moving progress, back in the past. And like, it was like all these different timelines and realities and little bits that come up, and it was tricky to navigate as a reader. Because like I said, I woke up this morning and I was like, still in the read of yesterday, and maybe, yeah, and it was loud and it was more, and it was like, finally I can see more. I feel it. I almost felt like I was in it today. And that song, it starts off slow, and that's how the readings kind of were, just a little bit. I think this is pirates. Nope, it turns out it's Vikings, and Vikings are ruthless. And which one was ruthless? The assassin. Taking another look. There's something to do with, okay, so the musician was in reverse with the assassin, and so that's inspiration and gratitude. I feel like you can look at the past and you can be grateful from what you learned, but I feel like that person was ruthless, and it needs to be like, that cord, that bond needs to be assassinated, because you're the devil in disguise. And so you saw a lot of red flags. You kept painting the roses red, but the more you glorified things that were awful, it kind of kept you stuck. You know, I know, because I picked up on the reading, and this masculine energy does annoy me, because they didn't care. They didn't have heart. They didn't think about you. They didn't do anything. You weren't in their plans. They thought that they could hook up with someone else and still have their cake and eat it too. But this ain't no freaking party. This is the wrong tea party, yo. And so I actually felt called to use the Wonderland card, so I found the painting the roses red, all that. So we'll use that one next time, because I feel like this is long enough. But I feel, in the now, channel that anger into something creative. The more and more you put into it, the more and more you're going to finally understand things. Kind of like my videos. I put a little bit into it, and then the story grew and grew and grew and grew. And now the book is in reverse. The book is done. New chapter, new story, new you. Right, Mr. Monster? Did you like the story? He's just happy to be here. He's happy for attention. But we got yin yang kitties join us in this. So what about the cats? I feel like there's significance. It says, don't judge a book by its cover, but when they show you the red flags, pay attention to it. Right, because Mr. Monster, you could say, is a monster, but Mr. Monster is so loving. He's looking at me all saucy like, no, I'm not. But we'll leave it there. I hope you guys have a good day. Happy healing. I can't wait to see what you create and channel and do whatever with your energy, because from the dark to the light, it's going to be intense. When that spark happens, it's almost like the Big Bang, but within you. So it needs to come up and out, and yeah, enjoy. Bye, guys.